Okay, so we have done and looked at how to create the sales by item, sales by time, sales by day, peak hours, and now we want to see how we can join these things together to create something that resembles all of them, that you don't have to keep on switching between sheet and sheet to find the information that you need. So before we start with that, we'll start by naming this pivot charts. So you right click, pivot options, give them a name. So I've named it sale by items according to what it represents. I've renamed to rename, you just right click, go to the pivot table options, click on that, pivot table name, then you rename. So rename all of them because I have renamed mine, but before you rename them, they have this generic pivot table number 12, pivot table 4, etc. And it is very hard to know which represents which. And for the next thing that we're trying to do, which is create a dashboard, we really need to have this working out so that while creating relationships, so that these things have a relationship between each other, you have to know the name of the pivot charts, pivot tables for them to work properly. Okay. Before we start, I want us to create something here. I want us to, first of all, know the percentages of these products, know what percentage they occupy on the total sales. When we go to the bottom and find the grand total, which is the total sales for all those products over that period of time, and we want to know which products take what percentage of sales, so that we know which product sells the most, etc., etc. And to do that, we'll create another pivot chart here. What we'll do, I think we'll just copy this. Copy this, paste it here. Then we will just do a couple of adjustments on this. So pivot show field lists. So basically these are the same, but we want to remove a couple of things. We want to remove the items from the rows to the filter. In that, now we can filter out every single data point here. We can check on chocolate shake, click it, okay. Then you can know what amount chocolate shake, which can be confirmed by us just checking here. Go down to chocolate shake and find 34,950, which is the same here. So we want to know what percentage this specific product contributes to the total. And with that, we'll use the usual formula, which will just give, first of all, give it a name, which will be percentage sales. Just for us to know what it tries to represent. And for us to make it a little bit more sensible, we can use a formula where we'll just put equals to this, then that and sign, that and that, enter. And now it just says that name, chocolate shake percentage. I'll add a space here. Chocolate shake percentage sales. If we change this to anything, French toast, it will change to 2 French toasts percentage sales. And if we get all of them, all percentage sales. Perfect. This is very helpful to make it like this. So it's very dynamic. Whenever you look here, you'll notice that. But we want the percentage. So what we do for percentage, it is usually the value of another value times 100 and the value that we want right now. So we put equals to this value, equals to this value divided by this value, the grand total here. Yeah, and then we'll put a percentage here. If yours is not in a percentage, you can go to home. It will be general on this part here. So you click here, click on the percentage. It will probably be like this. So you just click on the percentage, boom. So whenever we change the product and take something like Baristo 2, enter, it will tell us the percentage. We can also do a little bit of self-formatting. Okay, I wanted to format cells, alignment, sorry, protection. Okay, just leave it. I wanted to make it so that it does not keep on shifting the sizes. Horizontal. Just leave that. Okay, so we have the percentage here, and now we have a very good thing to refer to know the percentage of each product. Now we'll proceed to creating the dashboard. Create a new sheet here, put it on the last point, or put it in the beginning. We rename this, we name it the dashboard, enter, and then we'll start working on it. For the dashboard, I usually remove all these grid lines because what you're trying to create is something that looks kind of like this, which can be used to change all the products and see how they fare, what percentage they occupy. We can clear this out. You can see how it changes. This is what we're trying to create. So, and a couple of more adjustments, etc., etc. But let's just hide this one out. So what we do, we start by taking the cells. We take the graphs, these graphs. We'll copy these graphs, take them to the dashboard, paste them here. Let's minimize this size. Just delete this, are not important. This is not also important. Yeah, we copy all the graphs, sales by item, sales by day. Copy this graph, take it to the dashboard, paste it here. Sales by time period, we've taken that. Peak hours, copy this. Sales by day. We go to the dashboard again. Paste this here. We want to put everything that we need on this side. We also need from the sales by item, we want this value here. So we'll go to the dashboard, equals from sales by item, we want it to be equal to this. And also we want to know the total sales. We'll go to the sales by items, then click on this. So basically we want it to be reflective. Sorry, total sales here equals. Okay, so we'll just make this a little bit more dynamic. So equals total sales $ total sales for sales by item. Click this, enter. We'll click here. Perfect. So it's kind of interactive in that if we remove this and say all, it will tell total sales all and give us this specific value. So we have put all the things that we need on this side. Now it's time just to arrange them. You can arrange them real fast. I think I'll just start with this here, put this here, put this in the beginning. We need a bit of space here. So we'll move these things to the side. Let's just minimize this. Okay. Drag that here there. I think that is a good place for it there. Take this, put it closer to it. Just minimize the size generally for it to fit. Put that there. Take the peak hours, put it there, minimize this. There, delete this, not important. I think this is more important than this, so I'll delete this. That. Okay. Just reduce this a little bit. Perfect. Yeah, we can do a little bit more formatting on these ones. We can do more formatting on this these graphs. You can click them, format here. We'll remove, sorry, just click inside them like that. Format, shape outline. You can have no fill here and no fill here. Okay, that's good. You can change properties about the graph itself. You can change its design. And have a graph that maybe looks like this. Perfect. But we'll change it in that. We'll just format it. And to have no fill. No fill. Perfect. We'll just kill these grid lines. Lines. Okay. Okay, we'll delete this. This is just a little bit of formatting on the cells themselves. So many types. We can go, let's go with this one. Okay. No fill. No fill. Just want to make it transparent. Make the sorry, make this charts very transparent. Okay. And we'll make all of them transparent. Format. I'm going to the next one, pick hours. No fill. No fill. Go to this one. Format. Not this one. This one, yeah. Format. This is just to add a little bit of styling to it. No fill. can go to page layout, view, remove, click inside here, go back to view, remove the grid lines. Yes. Remove maybe the headings, but yeah, I think that looks good. Now we are formatting this and making it look a little bit better. I think we'll also remove the grid lines on the lines on this. No lines, so that it looks, yeah, like it's floating there. Delete this. Okay, can change this graph type. Okay, I think we can also delete these lines. Yes, work on deleting these lines. Yeah. So this looks a little bit better. Okay, now we want to bring things called slicers. In this for a moment. We want to bring things called slicers. Go to the data. Sorry, click one of these. Insert a slicer. Put item. Okay. And now we have a slicer here, which can be used to look at every specific product, like Baristo 10, Baristo 2. You can see it change, avocado juice, but avocado juice, or they stopped selling avocado juice. Click anything else, you can see this change. But what is not changing is this 100 here. It's not changing, is that 100. We want it when we click Baristo 3 deal, we see what percentage it contributes to the whole. And we do this by doing right clicking and report connections. So we want basically to connect the pivot charts with the pivot charts on the other one to work on this too. Okay. There's this pivot chart that we never renamed. Let's go and just rename it. The one that we created, the very last one that we created, this one, pivot chart options, we'll call it item by, sales by item. We'll call it 2 because the first one is this one. Okay, go back to the dashboard. Do the same thing again here. You can also find the report connections on the options bar here. Report connections, click that, and let's add the connection to this. Okay, now when you click Baristo 3, you can see the percentages changing, and also our value up here will also change. Click anything else, you can see it changing. Perfect. Now we have a dashboard that is very interactive. Push this a little bit up. We can just delete. It's fine. Let it stay like that. We just remove the name item there. Slicer settings. Remove the caption. Okay. Perfect. We can also add another slicer that will give us the days of the week. Sorry. Insert another slicer. We'll put day name. Okay. Put it here. But you don't want it to affect this. We don't want it to affect the sales by day, because when you click Sunday and it affects the sales by day, you can see it just brings Sunday alone, and that's not something that we want. So what we do, we report connections here. We remove the sale by day. Okay. Clear this. it has this problem where when you remove it without, it stays the same. So you do that, then you go back to report connections, move the sale by day, link it to the sales by item 2. Okay. So when you select Sunday, you can see everything change. So these are the sales that were made on Sunday for this specific Baristo 3. And this is the percentage of the total sales. You can check on Monday, you can check on Tuesday, and this can really help understand when the Baristo 3 is usually sold. We can see it's usually sold on Fridays because it takes the highest percentage on Fridays, but which can also be seen from the data itself. You can see Friday is very high here. Okay, now we have our dashboard and it's very interactive. What else we would like to add is something called the timeline, a timeline. So we'll insert a timeline here. Timeline, it has the date, okay. It's in months. We'll just minimize its size. Put it up here with some space. Okay, let's format this slicer. These are just now kind of design things that you're doing because you've already understood how the data is working and how to do how to create the charts and how to make them connected with each other. Then now we can move on to formatting the slicer options, the timeline, caption, move this. Then there are a couple of other things you can do. You can remove the scroll, time level, selection label, make it a little bit thinner, bring it out like this, expand it to the other side. Let me just create it again. So, okay, insert a timeline, to the date. Okay. Okay, it has everything. You can slide this, expand this, expand it till it can occupy all the dates. Perfect. Minimize it. Minimize it. Remove the header, the selection label, time level. Okay, I think it can work like that. You have to have the header so that we can cancel this. Okay, no problem. These ones will just move down. This and this will just move downwards to a point where this can exist on its own. Put it there. Okay. Copy this, paste it here, paste it there, delete that. Okay. Okay, a couple of other things that you can do here. Okay, we can also make sure it reports connections to each and every one of them. peak hours, sales by item, sales by item 2, sales by time period. No. So we don't want it to affect this, so that when you click January, there's only January here, which is 1 point. We want it to have a graph, this graph to be constant when you alter this. So that's good. So when you click January here, you can see how things fare in January, specifically the Barista 10, how it fared in February, how much money it made, etc., etc. But you can also clear it here, and you'll have everything you need. Okay. It is good. Can also, I think we can also alter its height. Make it 1.5. Okay, it's not readjusting and making it smaller, so we just use it like that. Beautiful. Reduce this. Okay. Something else that we need to do is by the sales by item, we want to create kind of a pie chart in which this will be equal to 100. We could just call it 100%. Okay, so if we had 100, but we have 100%, we can create a pie chart from this. Where I'm putting 100% so that the pie chart just relates to 100%. I don't want it to keep on changing. I want it to reflect that. We can insert here. I want to put not specifically a pie chart, but a donut chart. Okay, we'll format this a little bit. I think we can use, which one looks good? I think this one is good. No, not this one, this one. Yes. You can remove this, delete this, not important. Then we can format it a little bit. Make it transparent, copy this, copy it, bring it to the dashboard, paste it here. Sorry. If you paste it there, then you can now just take this. Sorry, made it very hard for me to carry it and put it somewhere else. By making it have no fill, I think I can just add a fill first. Make it white. So when I carry it, I put it there. Fill, no fill. To be there. I want to increase the size of this to about maybe 20. Okay, so when maybe I add Barista 2 here, you can see it being very dynamic, changing. Changing Barista 3. You can add multiple like Barista 3 and 2. We'll just reduce the decimal points here to 1. And when you cancel it, it's supposed to be 100, and I know it's because the space is very small for it. We'll just increase the space by going to view again, making sure you return the grid, not the grid lines, the heading, increasing its size enough. Okay, can hide it again. Like that. We can maybe change how this is written, make it centered, change the formatting, make it color blue, probably. This is up to you now. Everything else is up to you. So when we change this, you can see it. Deselect, check Baristo 3.8%. Yeah. When you reduce this, remove this, you can increase this a little bit. Yes. Total sales. You can see now how dynamic it looks. More formatting, you can do more formatting by maybe making this black. Let's make everything black. Home. Let's fill it with a black color. If you want it to look exactly like the one that I had, you can fill it with black color. Put it there, this one there. Increase this probably. Yes. You can just do extra formatting on this. As you remember, there's something here. Make it white so that it is visible. These total cells, they're very small. I think I'll just put them here. Home, make them use the same as this. Make them 20. Perfect. You can see it's taking shape. Remember, the most important thing is that this is working together. You can go to view again. This is more of a designing thing. You design them. You design them to make the most sense. Make this centered. You can see. Change this to maybe a custom one. It's currency. Move the decimal points. I think it looks kind of good. Yeah, you can also insert some shapes here. If you want it to look completely like the one I had. You can make this a little bit bigger, broader, so that the names drop like that. This is more of a designing thing where you just want to make it look a little bit better. You can move this here. Cut this, put it there. Yeah, so you can see how this one looks. Cancel this. You can see how dynamic this one is. And it is very helpful if you're maybe writing a report on something. You click on this, know the Barista 5 usually sold on Saturdays and how you're going to convince them. And it's very dynamic. New data, you can come and add new data here, refresh. Remember what we did. It comes and reflects on this here. Then it changes everything, and your dashboard is your most important thing. You can add so many things in more on designing things, illustrations, shapes. You can add maybe a shape like this here. So it's too small. Insert illustration, a shape, this shape. Do that. Perfect. Then you can just format the shape. Yeah, increase transparency till it's visible. Yeah, you can copy that shape, paste it, use it for this other graph here. Now I think it should come up to this point for some symmetry. Yeah, can copy it, paste it. Sorry. Copy this, paste it, have it also for this last one here. Okay, and then that's more or less of the things that you can do with it. You can try so many designs for yourself, what suits you. But remember, the most important thing is to understand how to create that, how to make it work. You can add one for just for good measure for this one. There, format shape, make it transparent. Yeah, you can see how this one looks. You can also do a design change where you can go to page layout, themes, and then it can give you more and more options here. You can see. And that's how you do that. I think I'll use that red one. I think it looks very nice. Yeah, I'll use this one. Move the shapes. You can move the shapes to back, because if I wanted to alter this graph here, there's the shape that's on top that is really messing me up. So I can send it to back. And now the one that is in front is my graph. Expand it. And to expand it till the names are flat, but yeah, you catch the drift. You know what I mean. Like that. Baristo 3. Format it. We can go back to view. Just remove this. Remove the formula bar. Increase this a little. And boom, now we have this thing where you just come, if there's new data, you come to new data, you just paste it here. Come to new data, you paste it here at the bottom, or just paste it. It will, but you paste it here, and then it will just do the whole process, refresh everything. Then you come here and work on this. I think I'll move this here. Move these guys to this point. This is just formatting that I'm doing. Remember that. Everything else we worked on. So let's can cover here. View again. Headlines. Make this big enough to accommodate the money. And voila, this is what I meant. So when you're asked to check on the progress of a certain product, example, let's say, how are the shakes faring? How are the shakes faring in this? Sorry. Something is not happening. Home. View. Oh, it's just imehang kiasi. No problem. But you catch the drift, huh? If you're asked about a certain product, how it's faring, you can just click it here. Refresh this machine, delete this manager. It's behaving. See, there's so many of these. Okay. As I've said, you can do so many things with it. You can play around with it. But remember, whatever you do, whatever you are doing, you first have to understand what type of things you're trying to solve, what type of questions you're trying to answer before embarking on just going through the whole process of creating the dashboard, etc., etc. You first have to understand what you're trying to make, what you're trying to work on, and that is what your first step should be. So as you can see this data here, if you asked about Barista 2, you can see its total sales here. I think we can move this here. Take this, cut this, put it here. Expand this. Beautiful. Yeah, so if you asked about maybe Barista 2, you can see how it fares, how it's sold on Mondays. Okay, so this is how it's sold on Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, how it has gone throughout the months. Remember, if you have data for a very long time, it will also be here, maybe 5 years. You can know the percentage it has contributed to the whole, revenue, when it is usually sold. You can also do so many little things on this, and it works very perfectly. And if you have Barista 5, you can see its peak hours. People usually were buying it in the evening. It has contributed 1%. This is its graph. It's usually bought on Saturdays and Sundays, and it has contributed 92,000 to the cash. And you can check on January alone that it contributed 23,000 in January. And this is how it was bought, and it was usually bought on Sundays on January, etc., etc. You can do so many small analysis on this to make sensible data that is very useful to the organization. And with that, we are done with the first part of this Excel beginner to pro analysis of the restaurant data. I hope it was informative. See you in the next one. Peace.